Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL Don't Panic. Bishop Brennan Cup time. None of us have covered ourselves in glory this week, but in a different game week, there are a couple of decent scores in there. So we're going to get to that in a minute. First, just thought because I like my numbers, and it just gives a feel for how the league is going overall, how FPL is going overall. Just give a little touch on, I suppose, and this is going to serve as my game week review because I'm not going to dive into it too much, too feckin' depressing. Let's have a look at the. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one there. Those are my rules, aren't they? Take no hits, build squad value in first 12, captain form player, that might change. Move out of form players out. Yeah, well, we're really going to be getting into that because there's obviously now with me doing the wild card, not going to go through that at the moment. There's been no changes since yesterday. I'm just waiting for some of these price rises, and some of them are already kicking in. Some of these price rises to sort of kick in, and we'll look at that more in detail next week in terms of the team, in terms of my final decisions. Because once that game week 4 kicks in, it will be spreadsheet you lot to death time, and basically following these rules. That's as much as I'll say about that. Didn't really mean to go through that. It was just happened to be on that page. More what I wanted to talk about was, oh, for God's sake, this. Yeah, just first 3 game weeks for me, but also the league overall. Now, the first thing that comes home to me out of this, so my own rank has dropped like a stone after game week 2 from 1,083,000 to 3,175,761. But as I listen to other content creators, hear the noises on the various social media platforms, etc., it could be a lot worse. There's far better managers than me languishing around 7 and 8 million and worse indeed. But that was a pretty disastrous game. Let's not have any pretenses about that. Just the 35 points. So my average has dropped from 62.5 down to 53. And it started out reasonably well in game week 1 with 69. Not too bad in 62. As you know, I'm trying to get towards that 70 average. Loads of time to get there. This is roughly where I was game 7 last year. And as I say, didn't come out too badly in the end, just outside the top 50k. And it should have actually been a lot higher than that. So it's all very recoverable, especially because, and this is the stuff that as I spoke about last year, all these weird players now, and sort of the defenders outscoring the midfielders and forwards. None of your obviously there is a premium on premiums at the moment. We've got no Saka, we've got no Palmer. Haaland's not firing. Salah's not exactly firing either. I'm probably missing a few there as well. Unusual defenders up in the upper echelons with 8 and 9 point averages that we'd have never thought of. No one would have thought of in a million years. Playing them. I'm going to talk a lot more about that next week as I look at to finalise my wildcard draft. But number 1 in the world at the moment, 127 points in game week 1. 211 in game week 2, obviously a change of number 1, and up to 272 in game week 3, an average of 91. Now, I remember this because I was tracking this very diligently last year. Number 1 in the world after 3 games last year was on about 140 odd points. This is a huge, an average of about 140, which is huge. And as I always maintained last year, even at that stage, that is going to drop to about 73, 74 points by game week 15. Current rate of going, and bearing in mind the amount of chips that have been played have been huge, because obviously we've got these extra chips. A lot of people going in with the the strategy, obviously, of playing chips early to get that buffer, and a lot of people have achieved that, and happily some of the guys in our own league have achieved that. Alan, a couple of others, gone really well. But you've also got a lot of the casuals are just doing it just for the hell of it and have got extraordinarily lucky. There will be a leveling off, but that average for the game, for number one at 91. That is so much lower than last year by about 40, 50 odd points. And the 50k points, indeed, to be in the top 50k at the moment, 206 points would sort of have you in the top 50k, and that is 69. That was about 90 points this time last year. It might have been a bit more, just going by memory. It was a much bigger gap. So in that respect, if, like me, some of you haven't got off to the greatest of starts, to coin the phrase, do not panic. It is a marathon. It really is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So don't worry about it. So yeah, just again so last year, winner had about 74 points. Top 20k you'd have been an average of 60k would have got you there. Sorry, an average of 68k would have got you in the top 20k, and 67 points would have got you in the sort of 50k area. And that's the way the season's progressing so far. Could end up being even lower. I suspect it won't. These numbers have been very, very consistent for the last few years, so it's still going to end up in that area, I suspect. We'll see. But just as I say, just to reiterate, if you haven't got off to the greatest start, even in that sort of, in the top, the top sort of, 100k whatever, the averages are so much lower than last year. So it's just followed it down. So it's loads of time to make this up. So say game week 7 last year, I was at 7 million. Sorry, not 7 million. 3 million, and I ended up just outside the top 50k, and probably just as I had to disengage from the game for the last 3 game weeks. Probably could have been quite a bit higher than that. Who knows? We don't know for sure, but I feel as though I could have been. And also, the person that won it last year was at 2.5 million. I think it was around game week 4. I think it was about game week 4. It was at 2.5 million. There is loads of time. One good game week, boom, and you could bump up 2, 3, 4 million in rank. So there's no time to panic. So just thought I'd get that out there. Right. It's your Brennan Cup time. Let's bring it up and see the disaster that has unfolded for a lot of us. I'll probably have to award you all the I'm so jealous award this week, because I must be about one of the lowest scores in the league, I would say. We'll soon find out. Where are we? FPL Don't Panic Challenge. Yes, indeed, it is a challenge. Right, let's have a look at good old Alan, mate. Listen, I know that you were disappointed with your free hit there at number 1. It's a solid score this week, mate. It was not a good game week all around. There's not that many big scores out there. That's a pretty solid score, Alan. I know you're a bit disappointed with that free hit, but seriously, it's not bad. And I think, let's have a quick look where you are in the world. I think you must be still well inside that top 50k. Let's have a quick look. Ooh, yeah, the Cunha pain, mate. But I felt it more than you because I had the captain's armband on him. Where are we? Let's have a look. Yeah, 35,000, mate. You're still going great. Remember, easier to defend from the front. Just a bad game week, mate. Everyone had it. Yeah, just one of those. Let's have a look. And we have that bloody fly. I'll kill it. Lincoln Park Rangers. Ken, that's a really solid game week score of 60, buddy. Jumping up there to 60 points. You'll be well inside at 208 points. Have a quick look. Let's see what we've got there. I don't think we've ever had a look at your team. Let's have a little quick glance as we go through this. Where are you? Yeah, 38,000. Great stuff. Really good stuff, Ken. Are you wildcarded? Just going to have might have to look at this with me wildcarding this week. See if I can get any pointers. Sanchez, still not sure whether I'm going to go Sanchez or Vicario for my own wildcard this week. Tarkowski, yeah, Defcon monster. Not the greatest score, but when Everton starts keeping a few clean sheets, and they will. Yeah, Milenkovic, are you going to stay patient there? I've lost patience, to be honest with you, with that Forest defence, especially now after that 3-0 against West Ham. Should be a bank of clean sheet. Porro got the Defcon late in the game. I think they adjusted him. Bruno. Am I mad on my own wildcard? Comments welcome. As I'm doing my wildcard, And I know United's fixtures are difficult, but one of the weaknesses in my own wildcard team at the moment is not having a player at that premium price point to make it easy to get to a Palmer, to get to a Saka, to get to a Salah, should I need to. And say what you will about Bruno, that points he's on at the moment, he should have had 2 double point hauls 2 weeks in a row. Missed penalty. He's getting DEFCON every week. And he's not looking particularly good, but it's Bruno and so many routes to points. I am tempted to bring him in on my wild card and create compromises elsewhere because I'm actually quite liking my team the way it's shaping up. There are going to be changes from what I showed you yesterday, but in general, I sort of like the plan. The glaring weakness in it is not having one of those. A Bruno who will 90-minute man, guaranteed starter, no European football, penalties, DEFCON, assist threat, sometimes in maybe the easier fixtures when he moves further up front, an open, goal threat, set pieces. He's just going to get points despite himself. Comments, please. Bruno on my wildcard. What do you think? It's a good choice. It is just a good choice, Ken. Yes, Semenyo, 2 blanks, I think, in a row, but he's going to be in my wildcard. I think he's a great choice. He's just getting off so many shots and whatever. He's got to have some hauls in his immediate future, some good fixtures too. Although Semenyo does tend to haul in the more difficult fixtures, doesn't he? Sorry, I'm practically reviewing your team here again. I like it. Anderson, DEFCON monster, but Torres not looking a little bit shaky. Gapco, what are you going to do? Isak. Haaland, yeah, I think Haaland is 99.99% certain locking in my own wild card. João Pedro, I'm really wrestling with do I leave João Pedro out? I'll talk about more on that when I do, they're just the choices. I'll talk about it more. And Wood, just a word to the wise, Ken, you're probably fully aware of this, hopefully watching this. Wood will be going to New Zealand, where I actually live, although I'm in Ireland at the moment. For international football, I believe. Look back on it. But even if he goes and they do start him, that's a hell of a long way. And I know because I have done that journey multiple times over the last 25 years. Just keep an eye on that one. Just keep an eye on Wood. It could be a minute's risk for you, but you do have got a really solid Lacroix on the bench, haven't you, if you wanted to go for a 4-4-2. Sorry, I didn't really mean to review your team, Ken. It's just you had a decent score given the game week and you wild carded, so maybe it certainly benefits me just have a little look through it as well for some pointers, but also, yeah, good to always see someone's wild card and how it went. Yeah, well done. Given the week that's gone in it, it's not a bad score, is it, on a wild card? Let's go back to the topic du jour. Dean. Yeah, not your finest moment, mate. Didn't quite hit the 50 because honestly, I think 50 is a decent score this week. But you're still chugging along, really good, mate. You really are. You'll be still right up there, well within that top 100k, I'd say. Here we go. That's sort of our top 3. Let's have a little look. Let's just go straight for a Bishop Brennan Cup winner this week. Now, think we have seen it there. I think it is you, Christian. Time to get excited, maybe. Time to get excited, Christian. I know you've taken a hit there, so it is actually a 69. Ooh. It's a tense moment. It's a tense moment. I'm going to come back to that. Let me just have a quick check down here. 62, 47, 47. Oh, there's a 65 there. Let's just a quick look there. Any hits? It's a wild card. There's a 65 there. Could we have a draw? But there is a score. Right, I'll have to come back to that. So it's 65. Good score. Anchors away. Good score. Good score, mate. It's tense. This is closer than I thought. I should have actually had a look at this before, so I had a fair idea. Ian, that's a good score there at 64. There's some decent scores in there given this game week. There really is. Yeah, well done. Adam, over the 60, 61. Liam, nice score, Liam. 61, well done. 50, 59. Just have a quick look. I think, just in case. Oh, 67 there. Let's have a quick look here. Is this a clean game week? 67. Total clean game. That's a really nice score there. Really good score. Let's have a quick look there. What you got? Evan Nielsen. Nice. Pedro had really good front line there, mate. Got the Bruno. Bruno points. Oh, little Munoz. I think Munoz might make it into my wildcard, by the way. He's chugging along well. Occasional DEF CON. But it's just an exciting guy to have in your team, isn't he? Yeah, good score. Very good score. 67. Okay, just keep an eye on this as I try and work this puzzle out. I might have to re-record this. It's a bit of a mess. There's more good scores in there than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be very straightforward. But no, there's some great scores in there. Okay, right. Listen, I hope I've caught everyone that I should have had a bit of an idea of. Let's just go back here and have a look. It's a tense moment. This is way closer than I expected. The silence is deafening. Where did I see that bloody score? God, I'm going to have to record this mess. There's too many good ones in there in the end. They're sort of hovering around. It's that what it is right, let's go back to the beginning here. Right. We know. I'm going to go to you, Christian, first, because you deserve to have a look at your team while I work this out. 69. Yeah, because you had that -4. Nice clean game week, as to say, other than the -4. Sanchez. Good. Yeah, that was a brave call. Van de Ven. Goodmanson, yeah, good. Xhaka. Bruno. Good old Bruno, keep the faith. He'll bring you the points. Rangers, anyone else getting, is it too early to get frustrated with Rangers? Not been great for the last 2 games, has he? But neither of City. Jokeris, Haaland and João Pedro. Yeah, really solid team. How many players brought you in your damn near 70? That's what I would say. If you get 5 or 6 players return, you should be hitting the 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could count the Xhaka, I suppose, but we just take it as, actual returns of some kind. 6 players, 70 points. There you go. Right, okay. 69. Right, so I think then we just have to find this other one that caught my eye. This one. It's a moment of tension. As he played the chip. Does 69 win it? Tension going. Ta-da! Fuck it out. A red-nosed reindeer. Great score. Bang on the 70. Congratulations. That is... Sorry, I've forgotten who's the bloody name. Give me a sec. It's just so tense. The tenseness, the anticipation killed me. Nicholas, that is a great score, buddy. Really good score. Right, let's have a quick look, see what magic you weaved to get that score. 367,887 game week rank. You must have had a massive leap in rank with that score this week. So you're this is what I mean, just outside the top 1 million now. You would have been languishing somewhere, wouldn't you? We can have a look, I suppose. Let me just have a quick look at your game week history. So there's much to give everyone encouragement. You just hit one decent rank, and it's going to just fly you up the rankings. Where's the overall thing? Bloody hell. Game week history. There we go. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, 4 million, over a 3 million rank rise with that, guys. So what we just need to do, 1 or 2 good, decent-ish game weeks in a row, be flying up those ranks. That's absolutely brilliant, Ken. Let's have a quick look. Sanchez, yeah, still, again, I do kind of look at these good teams that are bringing the scores in relation to my own wild card just to get feels. Oh, don't I actually? The only change I've made since yesterday, I have actually got double Crystal Palace in my current wild card draft, and it's paid off for you there big time, hasn't it? Nice. Currently, because I did, I got Guihi and Lacroix just in my current draft. Could very well change to Munaz and maybe a Richards to save money. Story for another day, story for next week. Certainly no final decisions made, but yeah, there you go. Crystal Palace defence in motion. Diouf again. Nico Williams. Time to let go of the Forest. And do that though, and they'll probably just end up going on that bloody run. But just to again, general info, you're probably well aware of it. Forest have signed something like 2 or 3 left backs, I think, in the window. Who is going to? I still think Nico Williams will be first choice, but there will be some minutes risks in that Forest defence, as well as them obviously not actually keeping any clean sheets at the moment. Nico Williams, I would have picked him as a DEFCON monster at the beginning of the season. One of them, I made my decision with Milenkovic, but Nico Williams, I think, was a very, very popular choice, thinking he'd be really, really good for DEFCON. Bit of attacking threat there occasionally as well. Nothing. So yeah, just keep an eye on that one. I'd say 3 left backs. It's probably more likely, I think, that Nico Williams could move over to the right. Don't know. Just keep an eye. This is the thing with this, and why I'm glad I did wildcard in the ground wildcarding in the international breaks. It just gives you time to think about these risks. But yeah, what's your bench like? I'm sure you got some cover there of some kind. Jorginho, hammer issue. Steph. Yeah, just keep an eye on that one. Anyways, you achieved that score with the double Villa of Doom, Rodgers and Watkins, who are doing virtually nothing. Interesting, the little things that pick up as well. If you're looking for your DEFCON, anyone that's playing Aston Villa, the right back has achieved DEFCON every single match. Now, what does that mean? Rodgers isn't going past them, and you can. I don't think there's enough info there to actually target anyone that's playing right back that's playing Villa. But it is interesting that anyone that's played Villa, the right back has achieved DEFCON every single time because they're just tackling Rodgers. And I did watch that game. He's not the races. He's not the Rodgers of last year. Will that change? Who knows? Fixtures, still some decent fixtures coming up. Fixtures breed form, but how patient can you be? They do look pretty woeful. I don't think Jadon Sancho is going to solve their problems. Let's put it this way. Although they did get worth a look. Sorry, I'm sort of going off track here, but it's just little things that I'm picking up. Harvey Elliott to Villa. That is a good signing. I always liked Harvey Elliott at Liverpool. Anytime he played, he made stuff happen and quite regularly would pop up with a goal with his limited minutes, etc. And sometimes a brace. 5.5 million, I think. Keep an eye on Harvey Elliott. Could be a real gem. Enough on that. Gapco, yeah. A similar problem now to what I'm facing. The minutes risk. I do want double, triple Liverpool for the next fixture. Burnley. Liverpool have got Burnley. But do I keep these guys in a wild card? It is basically booking future transfers because they will become minutes risks. Gapco, Etikite with the Isak signing. Wrestling with that one a little bit. Do I sign Isak early and just put him on the bench, or do I just play him? Because if he does come up for 20 minutes, Burnley, most goals in the Premiership are scored in the last 20 minutes. Would that be crazy just to buy Isak early, save myself that transfer, and he might come on for 20 minutes, and if he doesn't come on at all, have someone strong first off that bench. Most goals in the Premiership are scored in that last 20, 30 minutes, and an even higher percentage of that in the last 10. Don't think I'm going to do something silly like that, but it is tempting just to save the transfer. But Gapco will be a minute's risk. I think it's a puzzle there to solve. Maybe we'll get some clues. Does Isak get any minutes for Sweden? Stuff that we have to think about. Reindeers again. I still think he's a good asset. I still think Range is a good asset. I don't know if he's going to make my own wild card, but still a very, very good asset, I think. Watkins. You're going to be patient. Keep saying it. When he breaks that seal, the goals will come. Well, Villa do look pretty poor at the moment. They really do. They really do. But you never know when once they, a few new signings, Harvey Elliott, Jadon Sancho. You never know. Might suit him. Might suit him. And look at the revival of Grealish at Everton. Haaland, yeah, Captain Soundbend on him. Well done, buddy. And João Pedro, just chugging along, number one at the moment in the forwards point scoring. Yeah, that is a good team and an absolutely brilliant score. Given the game week average of 48. Ken, isn't it? I double check myself here. Sorry, I went through so many names, I completely lost track. Oh, for God's sake. What did I say yesterday about not getting straight out of bed and going straight on this thing? Red-nosed reindeers. Yeah, sorry, Nicholas, congratulations, mate. With a score of 70, you are this week's Bishop Brennan Cup winner. Now, unfortunately, Nicholas can't be with us today to collect his trophy. Oh, so for the 37th week in a row, I am the winner. Nicholas, well done, buddy. Really, seriously, solid stuff in a difficult week. And a nice big rank jump for you. So hopefully that continues for you, buddy. I will leave it at that for now, folks. I'll probably have a few days break now. There's not a lot to talk about. We're going into the international break. I'm on my wild card. I've sort of set out a team which is designed to catch as many price rises as I can. Hopefully, by the time I then come back to it after we've had a few international matches, keep an eye out for any injuries, etc. I would say about 50 to 70% of that team I showed you yesterday will survive. There will be significant changes. It's just what direction I go and what the strategy I set out for. I think up to game week 10 is what we're looking at with the wildcard to get me through to game week 10. Let's see how it progresses. Take care. Have fun. Play your own game. Don't panic. Enjoy the break. Relax. While I'm thinking about my wildcard. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.